Good morning, everybody. Happy Halloween week, day 2 in the books, and I am here live with you guys, ready to have some more Stampin' Fun. So hopefully you guys are on. If you're joining me, give me a comment. Let me know that you guys are here. While we have some friends coming on, I'm going to tell you, I did decide to dress up a little bit. I wanted to yesterday, so I am a day late, but I couldn't find the Halloween store. So I was like, what the heck is going on? I could not find it anywhere. So I don't know if you guys have a Spirit of Halloween store, those like pop-up stores that happen in your town. Um, but we always get them. They like come into an empty department store or something like that. And so I've been seeing the signs in the strip mall for like the last couple weeks. And I'd look in the strip mall and I was like, there's no Halloween store. Like they usually put up a giant banner and like, it's a big deal. So I've driven by it all the time and I was like, where is the Halloween store? So yesterday I was like, it's the middle of September. The Halloween store has got to be open, right? Like they are losing valuable time if the Halloween store is not open. So I got in the car and I was like, I'm going and I'm finding this daggone Halloween store. So I pull in and I drove the entire length of the strip mall. So if any of you guys are in Chambersburg, if you guys are local to me, I don't think any of our Chambersburg people are on. If you have not found the Halloween store, I know where it is. But there's a sign. There are lots of little, those yard signs, everything telling you that there's a Halloween store. But there's no banner. And everything else, yes, Chris knows where it. Of course, Chris knows where the Halloween store is. So I'm like, is this like some Harry Potter stuff here? Like, do I just go between two of these stores and like just run at it? And like magically I'll get inside this Halloween store. So I was like, this is freaking nuts. Like, it's got to be here. There's no way we're in mid-September and the Halloween store is not here yet. Plus, they're usually in a big building and there's no buildings open in the strip mall. So I headed out. And right as I got out of the parking lot, there's one of those little signs that, jabs into the yard that has an arrow that points. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's in the back of the building. So hopefully the poor little Halloween store does okay, because it's really hard to find because it doesn't tell you that you need to go the whole way back behind. Like Chris said, it is behind Dick's Sporting Goods. So I went back around behind there and I was like, holy guacamole, there's a gym back here. So I know a friend of mine was going to this gym and I had no idea where it was. And I'll be darned, that's where the gym is. And I think the store used to be like a golf place or something. And now it is the Spirit of Halloween. So if you are in my town and you don't know where the Spirit of Halloween store is, it's behind Dick's. And it is so full of crazy stuff. And I'm like, well, I need a costume, but like you can't see anything from like here down. So I thought, you see my hands all the time, right? Yep. Yes. Halloween store 9 3/4. Don't do that. Don't run right into the wall of Dick's because, oh, that sounds terrible. Don't run into the wall of Dick's because you will get knocked flat. You will not get into the Halloween store. Go behind it. All right. Anyway, you guys, that's my fun Halloween store story. Hopefully you guys are ready to do a little bit of stamping fun. So I'm going to do some switcheroos here because we are getting ready to play with them bones. And I have a couple fun things that I want to share with you guys today. Hopefully I keep myself under control because I just did a live with my team and had a massive hot flash. So hopefully that will not happen while we are on with you guys. Hopefully that's it for the day. So we'll see. And we'll see how much I can stamp with these because they are like lacy and a little bit itchy. But I knew I wanted to have like a fun Halloween hat. I was looking at a witchy hat. And then I saw this and I'm like, oh, that's cute. That way I don't have to put on like a whole big hat. Because not only am I doing Halloween week this week every day at 10 a.m. Eastern, but I also host a virtual bingo around Halloween. So if you guys have not played, we call it Zingo, which is Zoom bingo. We do that on around, what is it this time? October 28th. So I will be getting ready to send that information out. And so the last couple years during COVID, I've been doing like a bingo around Halloween. It is not, the projects are not Halloween because clearly it's the 28th and that's a little bit late. projects are usually fall or Christmas, but because we host the Zoom, we sometimes will come in costumes and fun hats and stuff like that. So I see your post, Lori. So anyway, now I can stop laughing. WOD, that's what we're going to call it now, the wall of dicks. Don't run against that. So anyway, so join me for bingo, or Zingo as I call it, on October 28th. And now I have some fun little costumes to wear when we gather for that. So more information is coming out the beginning of October. So that's a shameless plug for my bingo event. I do, if you're local, you can come and do it in person, and then we Zoom at the same time. So information is coming out about that soon. All right, we are here for Halloween week, so let's get rolling here and do a little switchy. Okie dokie, that should have worked okay. So welcome to Halloween week day 2. Hopefully you guys loved Halloween week day 1. It was a lot of fun. And I shared my special pick of the patch class that I have available. So the information for that is in the description of this video. So if you want to register for the pick of the patch, I'll show those projects a little bit later, as well as the framed art that I have that goes along with it. So what we're going to work with is in our holiday mini catalog, and it is on page 49. That is Them Bones. Now, we talked a little bit about this yesterday. The dies are not available, but they are coming back in stock within the next couple days, so hang tight. I feel terrible when I come on and show you all these cool things, and I'm like, can't get that, can't get that, can't get that. But Halloween is very popular here in the US, and people snag this stuff up super, super fast. So we have the the glow in the dark bats and the ghosts, and the glow in the dark paper and the dies are not available at the moment, but they are coming back in. So hold tight. Them Bones Designer Series paper is still available. So I would grab it. I would grab that now. It's a 12 by 12 pack. I would totally show you what it looks like in real life. But I said yesterday that I'm down to like scraps because I used 2 packs already. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started here. There is, yesterday I showed you my hot mess of bones. I did go steal a magnet sheet so that I could put most of them on, because there's all kinds of cool little pieces that go with this die set. So I did stick them on a magnet, but there's still so many dies left. Like here is the build a skeleton. And so there are still pieces. Well, this is a mess. There's still pieces of skeletons. So you can build him. You could put little dies in there in his arms and legs, and like he would be flexible. So this is super, 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 super fun. I will need that a little bit later, I have a feeling. So first things first, right, you guys? We need to decide what is today's prize of the day. So yesterday's prize of the day was this. That is some white and red glimmer paper. Today's prize of the day is the gingham embossing folder. So it's super easy. All you need to do is comment. Let me know that you would like to win this. And I'm going to do a prize drawing at the end of the week. Okay. So that way, if people are working or they can't be on live with us, they have some time to go back and rewatch. So this is going to be the prize of the day, the gingham embossing folder. All right, so now let's get stamping here. All right, I got to get all my parts and goods. Good morning, friends. We have people coming from all over. I'm so happy to have you guys joining me today. So we're going to play with this guy right here, Mr. Bones. And I'm very Grinchy, you guys. Because those ghosts and the glimmer and the glow in the dark paper are non-orderable, I am super grinchy with my stash. So we're going to use these sparkle gems here. And these I think work just as well. There's black, gold, and silver, and they add a little bit of sparkle. But I'm doing an in-person Halloween class, and so I am holding my ghosts. Like I said, I'm totally grinchy when it comes to those two because I can't get any more. All right, so we're going with a black and gray theme here. So I've got my basic gray. I will be putting the dimensions of these projects in the description of the video after we're done here. So you can, if you want to make some of these, you can hop down there and make a bunch of your own. So we've got basic gray, and then we have to do a panel of black and white. Of course. Good morning, little pumpkin. So happy you're joining me today. Oh, there's his little heart. We do not want to lose that. So I've got a piece of basic black, and I'm just going to put a couple strips of designer series paper on there. So I used the bones, the gray bones, and just made a couple strips. These were actually scraps that were laying around on my desk after I was done, and I'm like, well, I hate to not use them. So I love using little strips here. All right, now couple of them are a little bit longer than what I wanted. So I'm going to trim those off. And there's a bit more gray up here or a black up here that I want as well. So I'm going to do a little trim on that too. Not much, but just a smidge. Okay, so we can add this now to our panel of basic white. Got fuzz. It must be from these things. Maybe I'll do this all the time, is have some sort of fun gloves, because I feel bad for you guys. You have to always look at my old lady hands. And so maybe I'll just do that. I'll have some fun gloves I'll wear all the time during my lives. We're going to grab good old Memento here and stamp our sentiment. No bones about it. You're a sweet friend. We'll need that a little bit later. Okay, so now we can go ahead and add this to our basic black panel. These are very, very easy cards we're making today. You could do a lot of embossing, a lot of heat embossing, like your skeletons could be embossed in white on black and die cut. You could make, like I showed you, all those little pieces and parts to make like a bunch of dancing skeletons. But I am a simple stamper. So if you're looking for over the top crazy projects that take 8 or 10 hours to make, that is not me, you guys. I want to make quick and simple projects. All right, I am concerned. Yep, that piece is way bigger than we need. And this is not going to do it. So hold, please. I need to go to the big trimmer. Talk amongst yourselves. Okay, that didn't take too long, but that piece was cut way bigger than what we needed it to be. So we're going to add that on top of there. Now I use the new Decal circles. Have you guys gotten these? These are in the mini catalog, and I think a lot of people overlook them, but they are Decal, and they're big. Oh, I should show them to you. Hold again. I'm sorry, you guys. I was prepared. Look at these. Have you seen these? Did you get these? They're ginormous, and they make a ton of different Decal circle shapes. So much fun. So those are in the mini catalog, but I think they're hidden, and a lot of people overlook them. So we're just going to add that, and I'm going to put this on, I'm going to put it on flat because I want to make sure our skeleton is dancing. So he's going to be raised up a little bit. Oh, they're on your next order. Good thinking. Now for this guy, you'll notice, look at the whites, how different they look, because this is the glow in the dark paper. And like I said, I'm Grinchy. I'm not using it for everything. Plus, you guys are not going to see that it's glowing in the dark because we're here stamping during the day. But it really does glow in the dark. It's very, very cool. All right, next step is we got to do a little Skeletor. And we're going to stamp him in Smokey Slate. And then we're going to cut him out with the dies. Oh, you're not sure. You're getting France. Oh, everybody's getting those circles. There is a ton of dies, Darcy, and they're humongous, which kind of makes me think, like, I'm not a scrapbooker, but they would be so great for scrapbooking because how big is that big circle? Like, it's bigger than 6 inches, I think. But yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14 dies in there. 14. And then I'm going to be using them for some other projects. So I'll be sure to share with you later on. Whoops. We're going to get baby blue out and we're going to die cut this skeleton. So we're going to use 1 and 2. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of lesson because I have heard from one of my customers, they were having trouble getting the plates to go through. So here's a little bit of a trick. 1 and 2. And another 2 is for die cutting. Okay, so as long as you're die cutting, plate 1, 2 plate 2s. So I always like to have a bottom plate that gets all etched up and really crappy. And then I try to keep a top plate that's pretty clear. So the trick to these is doing an offset. Okay, so what can happen? Sorry, we're going to stop. Yesterday we talked about farming 101. I'm going to talk about Baby Boss 101. So what happens, these are all beveled, okay? Every single plate has a bevel. And if you have them lined up nice and tight and perfect, which is what you think you should do, sometimes the pressure is beveled and that little roller inside can't grab it. So I offset it. So I pull the middle plate back and the 2 front plates. Can you see how? Do you see how offset they are? That middle one is set back just a tiny little bit. And then this one is a tiny bit forward. And that just gives it a little bit better grip to run them through. Now, let's hope that what I just told you stays true and it works for me. All right, so let's line up our little buddy here. I always have washi tape just in case because we don't have a magnet. So in case these dies should feel like they need to shift and move around a little bit, I will use washi tape if I need to. Okay. The other thing with the Baby Boss is they're so small and they're so lightweight. I do find that standing up and putting a little pressure does help get it to roll through well. If you're sitting and doing it or it's on a slippery surface, sometimes it can give you a little bit of a fit. So that's my help with the Baby Boss. So hopefully that helps you guys a little bit as well. All kinds of tips and tricks we learn along the way, right, you guys? So we're going to use itty bitties. So I've got itty bitty Pop-Tarts here to put on Skeletor, or Mr. Bones, I sometimes call him. He also works real well. I've been using the black dimensionals a lot. I think I'm going to do one more at his, nah, I'm good. I'm good. Calling it quits. Oh, hey everybody. So glad you're joining me for day 2. If you are catching the replay, just comment replay down there in the bottom so I can stop by and say hello to you. So there's Skeletor right there. And then I took this teeny tiny little heart and we're going to put that on with a snot dot. Now he's going to be a naked skeleton. But there's so many ways that you can dress him up. I did one on my post the other day, is like he's like having paper dolls, because he has hats and boots and scarves and all kinds of fun stuff that he can wear. So there is our first card. This one is done with the glow in the dark paper. This one's done with just basic white. Oh, we forgot to add the bling. Everything's better with bling. So let's add that. I could do silver or black. So many choices. Let's go with black. These are good and sparkly too. So if you have them at home, you will see that they've got some good sparkle. There we go. All right, Mr. Bones. Ta-da, card number 1. Okay, card number 2 coming up. I need to make some room. So we're going to do a second card, and then we are also going to make a box, because I know we're thinking Halloween, right? So we need to make treats. Lots of treats for the ghosts and goblins that are going to show up in a couple weeks. So again, a very, very simple card. I'm using Cajun Craze. So we'll fold that in half. We've got a piece of Them Bones Designer Series paper, one with the bats and moons. I'm not a bat fan, but it's okay if they're on paper. I don't have many fears. I think I said this yesterday, but bats are ones for me. I will scream like a stuck pig. There's bats again. So we're going to add more bats on the other side. Everybody must love bats for Halloween. And I'll be sure, again, I told you I was going to put the dimensions in, so I'll do that. Here's my little dog and my little kitty. They are stamped in Memento Black on basic white, and then I die cut them out ahead of time. I do want to share, like I said, they're so fun to do on the glow in the dark paper, but I am being very careful with my paper. But if you guys are stamping on the glow in the dark paper, got to use this. Memento is not going to do it for you. You're going to have stays on to stamp on the glow in the dark paper to stamp black. So that's a little tip for you guys as well. We're going to use the same sentiment. And this is a Smokey Slate tag cut from the, what is its name? Are they tailored tags dies? Thank you. I think I'm gonna do them all the time, Sandra. I'm just gonna find all kinds of fun gloves, except they look, I'm stuck inside my own ink pad. Okay, maybe we're not gonna wear gloves all the time. It's not as easy as you might think. Okay, so some dimensionals on our tag. Pop-Tarts galore. And then we're also going to have dimensionals on our puppy and our kitty. I have some of the minis here. I love these little bitty dimensionals. They're just perfect. So we've got these two guys hanging out with each other. Okay. Puppies and kitty love. There we are. They were friends in real life, and now they're friends in death. All right. Grab ourselves some. This is the black and white gingham I'm using. Yesterday, we used the black and vanilla gingham. And so, but this one I wanted a little bit smaller. So we're going to go straight up with the black and white. It's a little bit narrower. Tie ourselves a very cute bow. Good old snot dot. There we go. Trim the edges off, and there we have a super cute little card. Now I'm going to go ahead and use, I think, the Sparkle Gems again. This one you can you see the little bats, the glow in the dark bats on this one? Super fun. And then these guys are glow in the dark, but you can't tell because it's daytime. Where are my gems? There we are, right in front of me. And I think we'll use silver this time. Oh, I need a new booger. Oh, I might be out. This might be the end of my Go-Go Gadget tool. I might need a new picker or a new, there we go. So we put some silver on there, some new putty. All right, so there is quick and easy card number 2. All right, let's do, let me show you what we did yesterday, just in case anybody is new. So here's what we made yesterday, and this is part of my class. So this class is available. The registration is in the description below. This is a Halloween week only class. So it ends on the 17th, but you're going to get everything you need to make 2 of every project. You're also going to get half a pack of them bones, and you're also going to get a roll of the ribbon, plus the tutorial. And then there, of course, is the video that I made yesterday. So there is our little treat box. Super cute and fun. This is using the pick of the patch. Here is our fall card. We have another fall card. And then we have our Fun Fold Halloweenie card. Okay, so 2 of everything to make all of these projects. So you can sign up for that. Now, we do have an add-on. So let me share that with you. Okay, so sorry. I'm going to have to look at this. Do you know what that is? That's my dog Slobber, because his nose has to be on everything. So he's just gross. I love him, but he slimes everything. So this is our add-on. This is a 9x9 sampler. You will use your Them Bones paper. You'll also use your ribbon. I will have parts die cut for you, but you'll have to cut out your animals. Okay. This is the glow in the dark paper. That's why I'm like being very scrimpy about it, is I'm trying to save it. You'll have to add your own gems. So if you have the glow in the dark, you can add them. You can wait till they're back in stock, or you can add some fun gems of your own. I cannot do any stamping for you, so you would need to do your stamping, but all of your little skeletons are part of the designer paper. So you can either cut them out with Them Bones dies, or you can cut them out by hand. So I will have this. The frame is not included. You'll get all the cardstock and the pieces. Add your own gems, do your own stamping, okay? But that is an add-on. I'm also including a pack of the black dimensionals as well, because this has a lot of dimension on it. So sorry for the glare, and so sorry for the dog slobber. So anyway, that's part of our add-on for the pick of the patch class. Okay, so moving on, we're going to make a treat box out of the tomb in the Them Bones dies. Okay, so we have got a piece of basic gray. That's not basic gray. This is basic gray. And it is 4 by 3.5. So I have to remember my my measurements here. Okay, this is the 4-inch side. Okay, so we're going to score the 4-inch side at a 1/2 inch and 3.5. When I make these boxes, I always take, like, this is junky paper from like cardstock from I don't even know where, maybe the Walmart, and I make myself like a template. I do this all the time because I don't want to use my good stuff. So I write notes to myself and make myself a template. most of the time I forget what I'm doing. So this is very, very helpful. All right. So we did 1/2 inch and 3 inches. Then our 3-inch side is going to be 1/2 inch and 1 inch, 2.5 inches and 3 inches. Okay. So that's going to make the little treat container. Okay. So I like to make sure I burnish all of my folds real well, kind of break down the fibers a good bit. And we're going to take one of the ends and we're going to cut off 2.5 inches because we need to make it small enough that where this one is always hard. That's 2, 2 1/4, 2.5. You need to make it small enough to fit in your what are these tombs? Okay, so we need to cut it off about 2. Actually, I'm going to do 2 1/4 inches just to be sure. It feels like it's too long. Let me measure here. Oh, I don't have a measuring tool because, well, let's do this first just to make sure before I tell you incorrectly. We're going to loosen up all of these because this is how we're going to have to put it together. So this little box is going to roll in like this. Makes sense? It's going to look like that. Okay, it is not 2.5. I wonder if it's 1.5. I think I lied to myself. That's what I'm cut off. I'm going to cut off 1.5. 1 1/4. We're going to try that and see what happens. It's not really a big deal if it's a little bit shorter than it needs to be. Because you can still fit. You just don't want it sticking out above your tomb. Okay, so let's go ahead and put these together. We're going to use some tear and tape for this. And I'm just going to put a strip of tear and tape on these little flaps. Okay, and then, so these are going to fold in this way. Hopefully this is making sense to you. They're going to fold in like this. And then this one's going to fold in on top like that. So I'm going to put, actually, you know what? We can fold them in like this. Yeah, let's do it that way. I told you sometimes I forget from when I make these last week to how I did this. So you have to go along on the ride with me as my brain tries to remember. Okay. So now it's just a matter of folding. Oh, that whole thing came off. Try again. Do over. There we go. So this one's going to fold in like this. And this is a small box, obviously, because that little tomb is not huge. It's a small box, but I feel like it would hold I'm trying to think and talk at the same time. Like a Kit Kat. That's what I feel like it would hold well. Like a Kit Kat bar. Something skinny. Those snack ones, you know, little tiny snack ones maybe. Okay, so now we can add the bottom flap. This is easier said than done. Okay, roll those in, and this is going to close. So there's our bottom. So I like to take my bone folder and stick that down in there and make it stick real well. Okay, so now these sides here, that's what's going to attach to one of the tombstones. Or I guess they're a tombstone or a mausoleum. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure what I would call these things. but they look like this. I have 2 of them. Cowtails, little cowtails might fit in here well too. I did not go to the store and get a bunch of, oh, Twix. Yeah, Twix would fit. Probably a left and a right one would fit in there. If I go to the store and I get the candy that to try it out and see what fits, I end up eating the candy, and that's never a good thing. Okay, so we're just going to add this little box right to the back of one of our tombstones here. Use that bone folder and just kind of push it down in there. Make sure it's good and stuck. Here's another, there's a front tombstone, and this is a tombstone. I did cut that out of the designer series paper. So we'll add that to the front. It is made to fit right inside there perfectly. Okay, so now we can add, my nose is running. Oh, don't drip on my project. Add some tear and tape here. Oh, I think I forgot to mention to you guys, all the projects that I am making this week, there's going to be a grand prize winner, and you are going to get all of them. So make sure that you're commenting so I can go through and give somebody all these fun projects from this whole entire week. Sorry about my nose. You're going to make me get my picker tool out, aren't you? They're not behaving real well today. There we go. So now we can just add these 2. And I did try to line them up so that they're pretty even. Actually, I feel like it goes better. Woo! This way. You can see a little better. Again, put that bone folder in there. Good morning, Carol. You're never late. We're still here hanging out, and you can always go back and watch the replay. No worries. So there's our front. We have a little skeleton. He's cut out of the designer series paper. We have some grasses there, and then we're going to stamp a little boo on there and make this fun project. So let's add him with some dimensionals. And this is the last project I have for you guys. So hopefully you'll come back and join me next week. Oh, that silage. There is something to be said about that. So much dust around here. We did have a little bit of rain, so that has settled things just a tiny little bit. But it is definitely very, very dusty in these parts. Okay, there's our little skeleton. I'm going to glue down his the grass here under his feet. And then we'll get our sentiment here. So there's the grass. It's a little bit longer on this side, so I'm just going to trim it down. No worries there. And find a sentiment. Right. You guys all enjoying? Thank you. Thank you. Everybody's liking my gloves. It's fun. Fun, fun. Hopefully you guys are all enjoying Halloween week and hanging out here this week for some fun. I'll be doing it again in December too. I do gratitude week in November. So hopefully you'll join me for that. Because it's fun. It's fun to be here for a whole entire week. I usually am live just on Wednesdays and Mondays. Okay, there is our cute little treat box that we can put some goodies in. So let's see what all we made today. We made a little card, 2 cards, and our cute little treat box. There we are. So even though we're in Halloween week, I'll be back here live 10 a.m. tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern time. You guys can always catch the recording. No worries. The dimensions will be in the description after the video's done. And I know we're talking about Halloween, but don't forget about Christmas. So Christmas is coming up quick too, you guys. And I teamed up with these lovely ladies again this year. So we are hosting the 12 weeks of Christmas. So it started last week and it's going to run every single week for the next 12 weeks. And it's not too late. If you're not a part of my mailing list, you want to make sure you get on it, because every Friday morning, you're going to get a tutorial with a project that is just, we just do it for free. It's for fun. We enjoy it. You guys love it. And it's just to spark your creativity, get your Christmas mojo running. So if you go into the description of the video, you'll see join the 12 weeks of Christmas. You can go ahead and sign up. If you're on my mailing list, you're already going to get them automatically. So no worries about that. But if you're not, you can sign up below and you'll get week number 2 starting on Friday. But just message me and I'll get you week number 1 so you don't have to miss out. So this is going to run, oh my gosh, what's 12 weeks from now? Almost. Does that take us through Thanksgiving, doesn't it? So hopefully that will give you some ideas for Christmas, and you're just going to get free tutorials from us because we love you and it's just so much fun. And we feel like a lot of times, Cheryl, you didn't get it. So send me a message. So I need your email address. So if you can message me, I can get you week number 1. If you're on my mailing list and you don't get them, it sometimes is a server thing. And so you need to just message me and then I'll send it for you. But anyway, we're always sending all kinds of stuff in our email, like classes and retreats and specials and all that good stuff. So sometimes it's just fun to get something that's just a gift for you. And that is our 12 weeks of free tutorials for you guys to kick off Christmas. All right, my friends, that is it for Halloween week day 2. Come back and join me tomorrow. I think we're going to go back and play with Pick of the Patch tomorrow. And then I have some more fun plans. So you want to come visit me every single day. Thanks so much for joining me. You guys have an awesome day. And I will see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern time for Halloween week day 3. Bye, guys.